Hello everybody, it's me Charlotte, and today we are continuing with our crochet journey. Last video I showed you how to make a chain and how to single crochet. Today I'm going to recap on the chain and double crochet. So with double crochet, your stitches are probably, depending on the yarn you use and the size hook you use, your stitches are roughly going to be about anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch bigger, tall. So one stitch at a time is about an inch, ½ inch. You can really grow a nice piece pretty quickly. Before we get into that though, I want to say thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you for liking and commenting and sharing my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so now. And if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, that link will be in the description below. Alright, double crochet, but first we're going to do a small recap on the chain. Now, all you need is about 6 inches of yarn to make your chain, and then you want to make a slip knot. Quick recap on slip knot is I take my working yarn and I wrap it around my finger twice. I then take the piece that's in the back and I move it up front, and then I take the piece that is now in the back and I move it completely off my finger. Take my hook, insert it in there, and pull tight. Now in crochet, that slip knot does not count as a chain, so we do not count it. Yeah. So okay, chain. Let's get started. I take my hook, I put it underneath that working yarn, I twist it down, and I pull it through that loop that was on my hook. Again, you go under, scoop it up, twist it down, pull it through. Under, twist, pull it through. Just like that. And you can make as many of these as you want. If you ever want to read a crochet pattern, it'll tell you exactly how many to chain. Just like in knitting, it tells you exactly how many to cast on. So yeah, that's how you make a chain. You go under your working yarn, scoop it. I usually turn it to keep it in place and pull it through. Alright, now to make a double crochet. We went over this in the last video of where to start from the hook. Like it'll say double crochet, second chain from the hook, double crochet, third chain from the hook, so forth. What that means is usually with a double crochet it'll either say double crochet the third chain from the hook, or the fourth chain from the hook, or the second chain from the hook, depending on the pattern. To do that, all you want to do is, this is what your chain looks like on one side. This is what your chain looks like on the other side. You can see these little humps. I always crochet into those humps. So to do that, it'll say, we're going to say double crochet third chain from the hook. So I'm going to look for my humps. I see 1, 2, and 3. So here's my hook. Here's a hump, here's a hump, and here's a hump. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to double crochet into that third hump. So to double crochet, you want to pick up some of that working yarn before going into that hump. And now you have it wrapped around your hook like so. Again, you just go underneath, and I twist it down. And then I'm going to go into that third chain. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to pick up some more working yarn by going underneath, turning it down and pulling it through. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to pick up some more working yarn by going underneath, turning it down, going through the first 2, pick up some more working yarn, turn it down, and going through the last 2. Again, we want to go do another double crochet in the chain next to it. So pick up some more working yarn, going underneath, turning it down. Now we're going to go into that loop. We're going to pick up some more working yarn, going underneath of it, turning it down, pulling it through, picking up some more working yarn by going underneath, pull through the first 2, pick up more working yarn, pull through the second 2. And that's how you do it. Again, you want to pick up some yarn before going in to the next stitch here. You just go underneath, scoop it around, and go into that next hump. Pick up some working yarn, pull it through. We have 3, pick up more working yarn, go through 2, pick up more working yarn, go through the last 2. Doing it again. Picking up some yarn, going through that hump, picking up more yarn, pulling it through that hump, picking up some more yarn, going through the first 2, picking up some yarn, going through the last 2. They do say crochet uses a lot more yarn. This is why. But I'm going to show you guys something. Look how much, I mean, that's like probably a ½ inch of rise we've got there just doing that one stitch. So it goes a lot faster. Okay, pick up some more yarn, go through the next stitch here on the back, the hump, pick up some more yarn, pull it through that hump, pick up some more yarn, go through the first 2, pick up some more yarn, go through the last 2. Pick up more yarn, go through the hump, more yarn, go through the hump, pick up more yarn, go through the first 2, pick up some more yarn, go through the last 2. Again, pick up some yarn first, go through that hump, pick up some more yarn, come through that hump, pick up some more yarn, go through the first 2, pick up some more yarn, go through the last 2. You're essentially picking up yarn before you do any step. So picking up yarn, going through the hump, picking up yarn, coming through that hump, picking up yarn, going through the first 2, picking up some yarn, going through the last 2. So yeah, basically you pick up yarn before you do anything. Last stitch, and it's a little tricky. The last stitch is always a little tricky on the chain, but just have some patience, you'll get it. There's our last little hump. You want to make sure you don't forget that one. So we're going to pick up our yarn and we're going to go through that last hump. And sometimes you got to twist it in there. We're going to pick up some more yarn, bring it right through, pick up some more yarn, go through the first 2, pick up some more yarn, go through the last 2. Okay, now it's time to turn our work. Now, you will see tutorials on YouTube of people doing it differently. Some people do it the way I'm about to show you, some people do it the other way. Some people say to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. They'll say that this chain 3 now counts as a double crochet. So when you turn your work, no need to go into that first little space right there and make a double crochet because they say that this chain 3 represents a double crochet. So they'll tell you to chain or double crochet into the next stitch. I don't like doing that because then when you come work your way back, you have to double crochet into the top of this chain 3. And sometimes I just don't like the way that looks. It's personal preference. So instead of chaining 3, and you guys, like I said, it's personal preference. Once you guys get the hang of all this and you want to chain 3 and use that chain 3 as a double crochet, feel free. I personally do not like doing it that way. So what I do is I chain 2, turn my work, and now I'm just going to double crochet right there into that first hole right there next to that chain 2. So you just pick up some yarn, go into that hole, and you can see the chain. Well, this is the chain we just made. This is 1, 2. We have 2 chains that we just made, and then we have the working chain that is the top of all the double crochets we just made. What you want to do is you want to pick up some yarn and you want to go into that first chain that has a hole right there that's like right on top of that last one we made. So go into that hole. You want to go under both strands because you see there's a braid. Go into underneath both strands. Pick up some more working yarn, pull it through, go through the next 2, pick up more working yarn, go through the last 2. Again, pick up some working yarn and go into the next stitch. You're just going right into that hole. Right into that hole. Pick up some more working yarn, bring it through, pick up more working yarn, bring it through that first 2, pick up more working yarn, going through the last 2. And that is all there is to a double crochet. I think you guys got it now. I think, like I said in the other video, the hardest part is going to be holding your yarn and finding the perfect tension. You'll see everyone holds their yarn differently, just like within knitting. There's continental knitters, there's English knitters. Well, you have people who hold their yarn like this. You have people that wrap it around their finger and hold it like this. And then you have people like me who just hold it any old way they can to get the perfect tension. And I just do whatever works for me, so I suggest that you practice holding your yarn, finding the perfect tension, and you'll get it. The last stitch kind of looks a little tricky, but you can see there is a chain there. And all you want to do is go into that. You don't want to miss your last stitch, so you might want to keep count. There. And again, I'm just going to chain 2, turn my work, and I'm actually going to double crochet right there into that first hole. I do not like my chain to represent a double crochet, so that's why I just chain 2 and make one, because it is a lot easier. I'm going to try to work to the one I made in the previous row so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, how much easier it is instead of counting up the chain 3s. It's not horrible to do it that way. I just don't like doing it that way. Again, personal preference. Okay, here's my last stitch, and you can see there's a chain. Now, if I had just used that chain 3, it would be a little bit more difficult to see and harder to go into. So that's why I do it that way. And there you guys have it. This was 3 rows. I probably have a good 1.5 inches of material here. Doesn't take long. And let's see. That's what it looks like. I think it looks pretty cool. Alright guys, that's it for today. I think we're going to do probably, I might try to show you guys how to make a circle on the next video. Lots of things you can do with circles. So that's it for today. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so now. And if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, that link will be in the description below. There will also be another link in the description below. If you would like to support my channel and maybe donate, you can. Please do not feel obligated. But yeah, that's it for today. So until next time, I hope you all have a super wonderful, fabulous day and happy crocheting. Bye.